Hello YouTube, this is the Florida Rider. Just watched sunset and I'm heading back to the city. I had hoped to do my beach chat segment this evening, but the camera ran out of power, so oh well. But since it's still on my mind, I'm going to vlog about it while I'm heading to a restaurant to meet some friends. Some of you may have heard of the fires going on in inland San Diego County. And that's what I've been thinking about today, because on Twitter, a friend of mine told me that she and her husband and her 2 kids are going to evacuate. Or I think they have to evacuate. And she said that what she hopes she gets out of this is a lesson for her children on what is really important, because they have to pack up all their really important things and go. I don't know where they're evacuating to, if there are any shelters, or they're going to a hotel, or they're going to a friend's house. But it's not really the time to ask them that right now. Sure, I'm curious to know, but I mean, they have other things to do, or better things to do, I should say, than answer questions that don't need to be answered at this moment. I also know that there are some motor vloggers that live in inland San Diego County. 2 of them come to mind because they've been on my the best motor vloggers you're not watching segment. And I hope they're going to be okay too. I don't think they live as close to it as my other friends do, but you never know. And I'm quite sure that there are probably other motor vloggers who live in that area who might be up against the same thing. And I'm wishing everybody the best. Not just motor vloggers, non-motor vloggers too. You get the point. And I guess it's times like that that make us wonder what really is important. I mean, I live in a flood zone. I don't live in an evacuation zone, but I am definitely in a flood zone. And there's a good chance that if we were to get a hurricane, I would have to evacuate. Where would I go? I have no idea. I haven't given it any thought. 2 years ago, after I moved here, Tropical Storm Debbie flooded my road. And I thought I might have to evacuate. But my entire neighborhood was flooded, so I wasn't really sure exactly what to do. And that was only a month after I moved here. Could it happen again? Of course it can. Will I stay or will I go? Will I stay or will I go? I don't know, and I wouldn't know until it happened again. However, the important things that I would take, well, I have a little evacuation bag which has the important things that I don't use every day. This isn't something that's really mentioned in any evacuation literature I've ever seen, but I do it just because it makes sense to me. I've got the title to my vehicles and other important things like my birth certificate, my passport, just so I can grab it and go. That's the first thing that I would grab. I think the next thing I would grab would be my laptop, or my electronic stuff, because my electronic things that I use often, such as my drift and my dictation machine and my GPS, they all reside in their own little bag too. So I would grab that and I'd stuff my iPod Touch and my iPhone into it, as well as my video camera. Let's see, my digital camera lives in a little bag as well, so there wouldn't be a lot. I'd take my laptop too, because I have a lot of videos and pictures on it. And the rest I would just go. And hope that when I came back, at least some of it was still there. Or that I had evacuated unnecessarily. So, where would I go? Well, it depends which way the hurricane was coming. I assume it would most likely be going northeast, so I would head due west. Actually, I would head a little bit southwest to a town that I know, that I've driven through many times on my way to Miami. And I would be safe, I think. You see, when hurricanes come ashore, they lose power, or lose energy, I should say. So that will put me a good 50-60 miles inland in a direction the hurricane wasn't going. If the hurricane was coming due east, I'd head south. Depending upon how far it was going to get and what its projected path was. I have a cousin who lives an hour south and an aunt who lives further south from her. Or if it was projected to go that way, then I could go north, and even though I don't know anybody there, at least I would be safe. But these are things that we think about in Florida. We even have evacuation routes, like that sign right there. I don't know if you saw that or not, but it said evacuation route. They don't have those in California because they shouldn't have to evacuate. Now, a hurricane has not hit my area since 1921. And there are geographical reasons that I've forgotten for that. But it has to do with something the way the area is shaped. However, I believe last year we were rated one of the towns most overdue for a hurricane. Luckily, this doesn't mean that hurricanes know that. So we're still not on their radar because of the geographical formation or whatever. But it's still something that you have to keep in the back of your mind in Florida. My cousin has lived in her house for 20, I believe it's 2 or 3 years, about an hour south of me, and they have never evacuated. They've never had to. One year a hurricane was coming towards them and then it went south, down to Port Charlotte. But still, it's something that you keep in the back of your mind because it could happen. You know, and you have to be realistic about it. In California, they don't, because it doesn't happen there. They have to worry about earthquakes, you know, and the high cost of living and taxes, but they don't have to worry about evacuating. Well, normally they don't. Now they do. So, Danielle, I hope that you and your husband and the boys will be fine. Actually, I know that you'll be fine, because that's the kind of people you guys are. And everybody else out there who happens to be in danger of having to evacuate, or if you've already evacuated, I hope you'll be fine too. And just remember that it'll soon be over. And hopefully you go back to your house and everything will be great. And if not, then just remember the phrase something different. Whenever I've had things not work out right in my life, which has happened in the past, I never really got too upset because there's always something different out there. So if this doesn't work, then something different will work. But in the end, the fire will be put out. Your life will go on. It may continue as it was, or it may have to be something different. So, best of luck to everybody out there who's enduring fires and other things in life that make you have to evacuate, or just things in life that you need to go through. This is the Florida Rider signing off. Goodbye.